It was maybe 6 months ago. A guy rolls into the shop with a Sonata, nothing flashy, but he's got this look on his face like he just won the lottery. He's grinning, keys in hand, and he goes, "Dean, I gotta show you something." Okay, now, my interest is piqued. What could he possibly show me that I didn't already know? He walks up to his car, hits a button on the key fob 3 times, and every window rolls down simultaneously. Every single one. Look, I've been a mechanic for over 15 years. I've rebuilt engines that looked like they'd been through a war. I've diagnosed electrical problems that made me question my career choices. But that blew my mind. I'd worked on his car half a dozen times and never knew it could do that. That's when it hit me. Hyundai owners are walking around with a little black brick in their pocket that's basically a secret control panel for their car, and nobody ever told them. The sales guy sure didn't. The manual's about 400 pages too long to read, so these features just sit there, unused, while people are out here paying locksmiths to do things their fob could have handled for free. Well, today I'll be showing you 9 hidden tricks and features your Hyundai key fob can do that you never knew existed. Some of these will save you time, some will save you money, and 1 or 2 might just make you feel like you've been driving a spaceship this whole time without knowing it. Don't go anywhere because the last trick might just save your life, and it costs you nothing. Let's get into it. I'll start with the very trick that had me rethinking it all. Yeah, I'm talking about Trick 1. The remote window drop. This is the one that gave me the reason to learn a lot more about what your Hyundai key fob is capable of. You see, on most Hyundais, Sonatas, Santa Fe's, Tucsons, Elantras, you name it, if you press the unlock button on your fob and hold it for about 5 seconds, all your windows roll down. On some models, you press unlock twice and hold on the second press. In certain vehicles, especially the higher trim ones, it'll also pop the sunroof open a crack. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why would I ever need that? I've got a story for you. A lady brought her Palisade in during July, and I mean the kind of July where the asphalt feels like a stovetop. You could probably make scrambled eggs right there on the highway. She said the leather seats were so hot her kids refused to sit in the car after school pickup. Well, she needed some help, and that's where this trick came in. She stood there, pressed the button from inside my shop, and watched all 4 windows drop before she even walked out the door. By the time she got to the car, the interior had vented out most of that trapped heat. She didn't even need the AC on max for the first 5 minutes. Yeah, it's quite great, but I'd be lying if I didn't say there's a little con. If your fob's in your pocket and you accidentally press and hold unlock while you're leaning against a counter or sitting down, your windows will be down all night. I had a guy with a Genesis G80 come in furious because he found his car with windows open after a rainstorm. Thought someone broke in. Nope, he sat on his keys. So it's a great trick. Just don't carry the fob in your back pocket unless you want a surprise. Or better yet, be a lot more careful, can you? Now, let's talk about a little safety feature we should all know. Trick 2. The panic button. Trick. Everyone knows the panic button. It makes your car scream like a banshee and flash the lights. Most people only hit it by accident in their garage and scare their dog. But here's what you might not know. On a lot of newer Hyundais, if you press the panic button twice in quick succession, it'll actually turn off the panic alarm faster than pressing it once. 1 press often just starts it. 2 presses kills it immediately. I've seen people let that thing blare for 30 seconds while fumbling for the fob, looking like they're defusing a bomb. So, if it goes off late at night, you know what to do before waking up the entire neighborhood. But there's more. There's a real hidden gem. Everyone knows the remote start feature, right? Well, if you don't, I don't blame you. Unfortunately, it's not on every model. Nevertheless, I've got a secret for you. If you don't have remote start but you want it, the panic button circuit is actually used in aftermarket starter installations. Cool, right? I've wired up dozens of them. The factory often leaves that circuit waiting for a signal, so if you've ever wanted remote start on a base model, there's a world of aftermarket options that tap right into that panic button logic. Not a DIY, obviously, unless you like electrical fires, but now you know why it's possible. So if it's something you want, do your research. There's someone out there who could get it done. The next trick can save you from being stranded, left outside of your car in the middle of nowhere. And yes, this is a common problem, especially with Hyundai. Trick 3. The hidden key. Inside the fob. This one sounds basic, but I can't tell you how many people pull up to my shop with a dead fob battery and a bewildered expression like they've been locked out of their own life. Many Hyundai owners, more than you could possibly predict, don't know that there's a physical key hidden inside your Hyundai key fob. On most models, you press a small button or slide a latch on the back, and the metal key slides out. That key opens the driver's door manually. Every single Hyundai with a fob has it. Yep, every single one. Even the push-to-start models. I had a guy with a Veloster N. Nice car, very proud of his ride. So, he calls me at 7 p.m. on a Sunday from a grocery store parking lot. His fob battery died. He'd been sitting there for an hour, pressing the start button with the dead fob, thinking the car was rejecting him. I had to give him this little trick I'm going to give you. Okay, so, if this happens to you, here's what you've got to do. First, pop the physical key out. Then, open the door. When you're inside your ride, press the start button with the fob itself, like right up against the button. Why do you have to do that? I'll explain. You have to do that for the immobilizer to read the fob's transponder even when the battery is dead. The guy with the Veloster N was back on the road in like 30 seconds. Me and the guys at the shop got a pizza the next day as thank you. So if you learn nothing else from today's video, learn that dead fob doesn't mean dead car. Use the hidden key, then touch the fob to the start button. It's that simple. You're welcome. Trick 4. The trunk pop trick. That's actually useful. Most people know you can pop the trunk from the fob. You press the trunk button, it opens. Simple. But on Hyundai SUVs and sedans with the smart trunk feature, especially Santa Fe, Palisade, Sonata, if you stand behind the car with the fob in your pocket for about 3 seconds, the trunk opens automatically without you pressing anything. Now, I'll be real with you. I get the feature. It's a great idea, but it's got a bad rap, and I also get that. People think it's glitchy, but there's a trick for that too. You see, the feature only works when the car is off and the fob is detected behind the rear bumper. It doesn't just happen randomly, it's waiting for you. I had this customer who thought her Palisade was haunted because the trunk kept opening in her garage at night. I walked out with her, watched her walk past the back of the car to get her mail, and sure enough, the trunk popped open. She was triggering the sensor without even realizing it. So, yeah, it can be a bit too sensitive for its own good, and even that can be fixed. You can turn down the sensitivity in the infotainment settings, problem solved. But trust me, the feature itself is gold, especially when you've got armfuls of groceries and don't want to play circus performer trying to dig the fob out of your pocket. You guys know what I'm talking about. Remember the remote start we talked about earlier? Yeah, it's not always a walk in the park, and you guys who've tried it out can attest to that. And that brings us to Trick 5, the remote start sequence. Nobody explains. If your Hyundai has remote start, and a lot of them do, even if you didn't pay extra for it on some trims, the sequence isn't always obvious. I know a handful of my customers who couldn't figure it out until I helped them out. On many models, you press the lock button, then press and hold the remote start button, usually a circular arrow, for a few seconds. The lights flash and the car starts. Easy peasy. But as usual, the dealer didn't tell you everything. They never do, really. You see, when you remote start the car, the climate control system automatically defaults to whatever it was set to when you turn the car off. That means if you've left the heat on full blast in winter, it'll warm up the cabin. If you left the AC on in summer, it'll cool it down. And if you left the defroster on, it will stay on. You'll end up dealing with reduced fuel efficiency, possible engine noises, and even unnecessary wear. Yeah, but that's a conversation for another day. I've had a couple of customers tell me they thought the remote start has a mind of its own because they'd start the car and get in, and it was still freezing. Meanwhile, the whole time, this was happening because they had the climate set to off when they parked. Look, the Hyundai is a marvel of modern engineering, but it's not psychic. It just repeats your last command. So if you want a warm car in the morning, set it before you get out the night before. You've got to be one step ahead is all. Your key fob is great and all, but even it sometimes needs a little knock to the back of the head once in a while. I'm talking about Trick 6, the key fob reset trick. This one's for when things go sideways. If your fob stops working, No lock, unlock, trunk, nothing, and you've already replaced the battery. I've got a reset procedure that saves people a trip to the dealer. On most Hyundais, you get in the car with the fob, close the door, and press the start button with the fob itself. Then you lock and unlock the driver's door using the manual switch on the door panel. Sometimes you have to do it like 3 times. Now, here's what you're doing. You're resyncing the fob to the car's body control module. Call it a reset, if you will, but it refreshes its memory. I had a family bring in a Tucson that had been sitting in their driveway for 2 weeks because both fobs stopped working out of the blues. They'd called the dealer, who quoted them $400 for new fobs and programming. Yep, $400. They needed an alternative, and that brought them into my shop. I walked out with a new battery and did the reset in about 90 seconds. Both fobs worked perfectly. I've got a little fob feature you could use to showboat a bit. Hey, I won't judge. Trick 7. The fob window up. Okay, so rolling your windows down with the fob is cool, but rolling them up? That's the kind of trick that makes you feel like there's a glitch in the matrix. On certain Hyundais, usually the higher trims with the full smart key system, you can close all the windows and even the sunroof from outside the car. The sequence varies. Sometimes it's pressing the lock button twice and holding on the second press. Sometimes it's using the physical key in the driver's door. So, you just insert, turn to lock, hold it there, and watch everything seal up like the car's holding its breath. Now, this isn't all. This feature, as great as it is, isn't always turned on from the factory. On some models, it lives in the infotainment settings under a menu called something like Convenience or Door/Window. You might have to toggle it on. Dealerships don't usually activate it because they're too busy trying to sell you a car you didn't even want when you walked in. So if you try the lock hold trick and nothing happens, don't assume your car doesn't have it. Dig through the settings first. I had a Tucson come in for a routine oil change, and the owner mentioned she wished she could close the windows without getting back in the car. I showed her the setting menu, flipped it on, and demonstrated it in about 20 seconds. And here's the kicker. Some Hyundais with the digital key or the smartwatch integration let you do this from your phone or watch too. So not only can you close everything from outside the car, you can do it from inside the grocery store while staring at a rain cloud forming overhead. Talk about convenience. So test yours out. If it works, you just unlock the ability to roll up your windows like a wizard without ever sitting in the driver's seat. And if it doesn't work, check your settings, and if it's still a no-go, I'm sorry. But hey, at least you know the unlock hold trick to let the hot air out on summer days. Win either way. Trick 8. The secret seat memory that's stored in your fob. If your Hyundai has power seats with memory buttons on the door, the little 1 and 2 buttons, you probably think the memory is only tied to those buttons, and you'd be mostly right. But here's what the manual doesn't scream at you. On many models with the smart key system, the car actually ties your seat position, mirror position, and even steering wheel position to an individual key fob. Yeah. This means that your Hyundai knows which fob unlocked the door, and it automatically adjusts everything to match that fob's assigned driver profile. You don't even have to press the memory button. Just unlock with your fob, open the door, and the seat starts moving like a ghost is setting it up for you. I found this out by accident. A couple came in with a Santa Fe, both of them driving it regularly. The wife kept complaining that every time she got in after her husband, the seat was jammed all the way back like the car was preparing for a basketball player. She'd reset it using the memory button, but the next day, it would be back. Turns out, he used his fob. She used hers. The car was just doing what it was told, restoring his profile every time he unlocked it. She'd been fighting a feature she didn't know existed. Once I showed her how to set her own profile to her fob, they drove off with peace, restored to their relationship, or at least to their seat position. So, if you and someone else share your Hyundai, use your own fobs. Set your seat, mirrors, and steering wheel the way you like them, then save it to the memory button and make sure the car links that position to your key in the infotainment settings. From then on, the car will just know. You'll never have to do the awkward seat shuffle again. And if you're always solo, it's still worth checking. Why? Because if your spare key is anywhere near the car, like hanging in the garage or buried in a bag in the back seat, the system might occasionally try to guess which profile you are. And trust me, You won't like its guess because it could totally mess up your seat position. And to close it out, a big safety feature that could save your life or just help you find your Hyundai in a crowded lot quicker. Trick 9. The Find My Car feature. This one's less of a trick and more of a feature that's buried so deep in the menu that most people never find it. On Hyundais with the BlueLink system, you can use the app to honk the horn and flash the lights to find your car in a parking lot. If you feel you're in a dark lot and maybe you feel you're being followed, just activate the feature and the loud horn. And flashing lights should scare the perp. But here's the key fob level version. If you press the panic button and lock button in a certain sequence on some models, it'll activate a quieter chirp instead of the full alarm. Well, this isn't standard across all models, but in some, double pressing lock will give you a horn chirp that's less embarrassing than setting off the full panic alarm in a crowded Target parking lot while you wander around looking lost. I've had people tell me they avoid using the panic button because it's too loud and draws attention. Fair. But if you test your fob, you might find that a quick double lock gives you just enough noise to locate your car without waking up the whole county. I've spent a lot of years under hoods, pulling wrenches, and trying to figure out why cars do the weird things they do. And the older I get, the more I realize that the stuff that impresses people isn't always the engine work or the diagnostic wizardry. Sometimes it's just knowing which button to push. Well, with all these tricks I've just shown you, you don't have to stumble anymore. Go outside, grab your keys, try a few of these, see what your car actually does. Worst case, you find out you've got the basic fob that just locks and unlocks. Best case, you realize you've been driving around with a secret weapon in your pocket this whole time.